Time now for the markets with Leighton. And Leighton, the results of the Cotton Council's intention survey is out, and it's surprising.
It is surprising. Only half as much cotton may be planted here in the Mid-South as compared to only last year. All right, some other stories that we will be following in the markets today. The USDA reports strong soybean production out of Brazil. Meanwhile, the government forecast for chicken production is bumped up, and a beef sector analyst calls for a bullish spring for cattle. We begin with cotton, where pressure from outside markets put the brakes on, so to speak, the upward momentum in the days leading up to our production deadline this week. Now, the big news again since our last recording is the release of the Cotton Council's annual planting intentions survey, and U.S. producers say they intend to plant just over 9 million acres of cotton in 2013. Now, here in the Mid-South, Mississippi and other states, huge cuts in planted cotton acreage may be in the offing. The survey results show growers intend to plant 1 million acres across the Mid-South, which is half of last year's total. Analyst Jamie Kohaki thinks the fundamentals of the cotton market, though, are fairly bullish, even with huge world stocks, half of which are owned by China.
Broad-based selling caught it. We went on a nice rally too and saw some tech selling. I think you still buy the brakes in the old crop. July down around 80.60. I like that. The stop close below 80, and I think we will remain supported down there as long as the dollar doesn't get too hog wild, you know, up above 81 or 82. But it's the acreage game there, less acres, and look for it to remain supported.
On the same day the results of the Cotton Council survey were released, the USDA released its monthly supply and demand reports. Extension Ag economist Brian Williams talked to me Thursday about what the report indicated for corn and soybeans. Brian, what did that February 8th report have to say about corn ending stocks?
Well, for the U.S., corn ending stocks were about 30 million bushels higher. Most of that was because of lower export numbers. And then the global supplies were up about 2.1 million tons, and the vast majority of that came from higher yields, expected yields in Brazil.
Johnny, would you say economists had expected this increase in ending stocks for corn?
I think globally, yes, mainly because of the positive reports coming out of South America. They were expecting some increase in.
Are we still in a situation where the stocks to use ratio is fairly tight for corn?
It is. It's very tight. There's only been 2 years that have been comparable to this year in terms of the low numbers. In 95 and again in 73 were the only 2 years that were close to what we're seeing now.
Now, as far as the 2013 crop, if we had some kind of shortfall come harvest time, either due to weather, a drought situation, or something else, what would that do to the corn market?
I think it could be very interesting, to say the least. With the stocks being so tight already, if we see reduced production going into this next year, it could cause some chaos potentially in the markets, and it's something we need to keep a close eye on. At this time last year, they were expecting some record production in the corn markets, and that definitely didn't happen. So we need to keep an eye on the weather going into spring and the rainfall in the corn producing areas.
All right, let's shift to soybeans here for a little time. What did the report say about soybean ending stocks?
Soybeans, the U.S. stocks were down about 10 million bushels. Most of that was an increase in the soybean crush. And then globally, we saw a decrease of about 600,000 tons in the stocks, or an increase of 600,000 tons in the stocks, and that's because of, again, Brazil. They're expecting record production for soybeans coming out of Brazil.
There's been a lot of media attention on that lately, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
So soybean stocks appear to be adequate when we talk about the world supply?
Globally, yes, they are. They're about 23% stocks to use ratio, so globally we're sitting pretty good on soybeans.
Our trivia quiz this week deals with a subject of importance to all livestock operators, veterinarians, the people who provide medical treatment to animals. And here's the question: how many states have a veterinary school? Is the answer 28 or 35 or 41 or all 50? You'll find out the answer here in a few more minutes. This month, the government raised its 2013 forecast of U.S. chicken production. Analysts say broiler hatchery data points to continued expansion of bird numbers. As well, the weights of birds at slaughter have also been increasing, according to this new report. Meanwhile, the export forecast for chicken has also been increased from last month based on stronger demand from a number of different markets. At midweek, some livestock analysts felt that additional pressure is developing in the cattle sector. While some traders are of the opinion this could weaken beef's potential, analyst Darren Newsom remains optimistic for the spring and summer.
There's a lot of things going on in beef right now in the cattle market, and most of them do look bullish. I mean, before we had that cattle on feed report, we had a very sharp sell-off in the cattle market. I mean, they just plummeted. But that was probably necessary because we had been sitting up at pretty high price levels. Put the market into an oversold situation. We kind of got out of trading the Feb-April spread, and we started focusing more on the April-June spread, which is quite bullish. It is indicating that we've got a much more bullish fundamental situation this spring and summer. So the market's looking at that now. They're taking in all of these month after month of lower placements and just smaller, there's less cattle on feed at this point. So they're targeting that spring-summer time frame. So it looks like we've turned the corner. The cattle market should start going up. It certainly looks like the cash market should stay strong. We're starting to move into more of a seasonal time frame when we start to see beef start to move again. So there's a lot of things, a lot of bullish factors lining up for the cattle market as we look ahead into the spring and summer.
Before the feature story is our trivia answer for you. And this week, the correct answer is A, Mississippi, and 27 other states have colleges of veterinary medicine.